Welcome to Let's Connect on 88.5 Super FM. My name is Reniata D'Souza and I am your host for this evening's program. Do hope that you are having a wonderful night so far and hopefully your week has started out in a good way as well. I want to shout out our various communities, all those of you who are locked on every night at on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on 88.5 Super FM. Those of you who are always on our live, we appreciate you. We thank you for being locked on to Let's Connect. I want to shout out our friend in St. Vincent, Miss Fancy Bowens, always keeping it locked. Miss Fancy from Gutter Bay St. Vincent. She's always been there with us every single Tuesday. We appreciate you and we love you so very much over there in St. Vincent. So shout out to St. Vincent tonight. We want to shout out the various communities of Soufre. I want to shout out Force Jacques, everybody in Force Jacques. Good night to Force Jacques tonight. Esperance, Saint Philip, Belvedere, Mini, Mocha, Wavin Claire. Good night, good night, good night. I want to shout out those of you in Zeno tonight. Hope that you're having a good night as well. Good night to you guys in Crestland. Good night to everybody at New Development. Palmis, what's happening? Good night, Palmis. For Benye, good night to you as well. Those of you in town, those of you on Boulevard Street, Upper Bridge Street, Victoria Street, Church Street, all our wonderful town areas, Wingsville. Good night to you guys. Good night to everybody down in Barons Drive and Market Road. Good night to you. If you are at Sulphur Springs, if you're in Margaret Tooth, if you are in Etongs, if you are in Belfort, good night to you. If you are in Deville, if you are in Belle Plaine, we want to shout out everybody. Boisden, we want to give a special shout out to Monlacroix, Forge Libre, Chateau Bel Air. Good night, good night. Good night to Diamond. Good night to those of you at Bouton as well. Good night to everybody in Colabet. Good night, good night. Want to make sure we touch all the various communities tonight. Shout out everybody who is locked on, those of you who have come up on the live. Good night to you, Cleanus Alexander. Good night to you, Miss Calixta Joseph. Thank you so very much for always keeping it locked on to our Let's Connect program tonight. We want to start off by offering our most sincere condolences to Mrs. Caroline Trubetskoy and her children and the entire Trubetskoy family who are unfortunately dealing with the loss of Mr. Nick Trubetskoy. Caroline herself put out the statement. We'll read out. Trubetskoy family announcement. With heavy hearts, we announce the passing of the Honorable Nick Trubetskoy, SLC, SLMH, on November 25th, 2024 in London. Nick's remarkable journey began in Western Canada and in the 70s led him to St. Lucia, an island that he not only called home but deeply cherished. His visionary spirit and fearless architectural innovation first manifested in the creation of Anchasne, a resort that epitomizes his commitment to harmony with nature. This project laid the groundwork for his crowning achievement, Jade Mountain, which stands as a powerful testament to his great love for St. Lucia and her people. Nick's commitment to sustainability and community betterment was embedded in every venture he undertook over the many decades he lived in Soufre, earning him the highest honors from St. Lucia, including the St. Lucia Cross and the St. Lucia Medal of Honor. Nick's devotion to his family was unparalleled. He is survived by his loving wife of 40 years, Caroline Trubetskoy, his children, Karen, Nikolai, Yasha, and wife Charlene, along with his grandsons, Talin and Remy, and sister Elaine Rithi and family. Nick's legacy will live on through his children, who will forever cherish his memory and continue to be inspired by his life's work. Once again, on behalf of the Sufre Constituency Office and the Let's Connect program, we once again extend our deepest condolences to the family as well as to the entire Jade Mountain and Anchasne fraternity. All right. Once again, I want to thank all those of you who are locked on with us on our program. We want to also extend deep condolences, our sincerest condolences to the family of Jeff Mitchell, who was found deceased at his residence yesterday, or was it day before yesterday? Has it been is day before yesterday? I'm getting my dates confused. It was, yes. So we want to extend our deepest condolences to his family and friends in Sufre as well. We also would like to announce that the funeral of Jarrock, those of you who know him as Jarrock, Mr. Butcher, I'm just going to get his full name. The funeral will be in Bouton on the 30th of November. So if you, I'm just finding the full name. The For those of you who are unaware, there is a Soufre Forcejac obituaries page, and that is where I am just about to search for the full name of Mr. Butcher. That is Dunstan Butcher, who was the father of Miss Luki Albert. So his funeral will be November 30th in Bouton, and I urge anyone who is able to listen to his death announcement, and you will see his legacy. He leaves behind a great legacy, long legacy. I listened to his death announcement today. Lots of nieces and nephews all over St. Lucia and the diaspora in the world. So he leaves behind a wonderful legacy, and they will be laying him to rest November 30th in Bouton. So for persons interested, there will be transportation from outside of Marie's Bar to take persons to the ceremony, and it will be a Nyabingi ceremony. So you are urged to wear Rastafarian colors. All right. If you are going to pay your respects to Mr. Dunstan Butcher, better known as Jarrock, on Saturday, November. Yes, Saturday, November 30th. Yes, that is the date of the funeral. So you can get transportation from outside Marie's Bar to attend the funeral in Bouton. All right. Once again, condolences to his family and his loved ones. We also would like to announce that the Sufre Comprehensive Secondary School is having a kaleidoscope pageant. The contestants will be here on 88.5 on Thursday being interviewed, so you get a chance to hear from the contestants. The pageant, Kaleidoscope Pageant, is taking place on Thursday, December 5th from 11 a.m. at the Sufre Mini Stadium. Tickets cost children $25, parents $35. All who are able are urged to support the students and purchase a ticket to attend and support. And we wish all the contestants all the very best. Once again, they will be on 88.5 on Thursday morning. So you can get a chance to hear from the contestants themselves as they delight you and ask you to support them themselves and show you what it is you're going to give you a little preview of what it is to expect on December 5th at the Kaleidoscope pageant being hosted by the Sufre Comprehensive Secondary School at the Sufre Mini Stadium. Time 11 a.m. Once again, tickets cost children $25, adults $35. We want to wish you all the very best contestants in your pageant. We would also like to extend congratulations to Miss Imani Hippolyte of Crestland, who has earned the Caribbean Pastry Chef of the Year. This year has definitely been the year for St. Lucia, winning many, many accolades. It's the Julian Alfred effect, we like to call it. So 2024 has definitely been a year of wins for St. Lucia, and this is another one that has been brought home. I also saw that we have once again, I think it is for the seventh or ninth time in a row, we have gotten hotel honeymoon destination of the year. Sorry, honeymoon destination of the world, top honeymoon destination. Once again, we have won that award again this year. I saw that earlier today. So definitely a year of wins for St. Lucia, and we hope that everybody is taking advantage of that energy, that winning energy, and hopefully that everybody is being able to pursue their goals, attack their dreams, and set new goals and higher levels for them to reach, because we're all getting there together. St. Lucia is definitely heading up this year. Okay. I have another breaking news that came out today that I would like to read. Now, the original document is about 6 pages long. So we won't get into the entire document, but I have gotten some of the highlights. So it is regarding the special prosecutor. So for persons who might not have had a chance to get access to maybe social media or the news, you have not seen this. So just letting you know, I'm just going to read the beginning of the missive. Like I said, it's 6 pages long, so I won't read the entire 6 pages. So just so that you can get an idea of what it is. So this is a letter from the special prosecutor, or rather, I should say, the office of the special prosecutor, and it is addressed to Peter Chico. So this is in regards. So pursuant to my letter dated September 12th, 2024, acknowledging receipt on September 10th, 2024, of your complaint dated September 9th, 2024. So basically, this is a response from something that was submitted in September 9th, 2024, from Peter Chico. So this is the response now from the special prosecutor. Okay. But first, some clarity and its application to criminal corrupt conduct. Corrupt conduct is not a specific offense, but a description of the rubric under which specific conducts are deemed and listed as corrupt offenses. So basically, explaining what it is that his role is in all of this, that what he can and cannot do. So he goes on to state, a person shall not be held to be guilty of a criminal offense on account of any act or omission that did not at the time it took place. So you cannot be held guilty of a crime if you did not commit a crime, basically. Okay. So basically, the highlights of this are, like I said, I'll not read the entire document. So the highlights are, there is no misconduct in public office in the Prime Minister choosing not to renew an acting contract that has expired, nor in his attendance at court in support of a colleague, nor any evidence of creating an unfair advantage for Mr. Hille as alleged, nor any evidence of him victimizing the complainant or abusing his power as Prime Minister. I find the complaint to be without merit and therefore no need for investigation. This is a judgment issued November 21st, 2024. So some of the highlighted pullouts are, the complaints against Dr. Hille are not valid complaints of corrupt conduct. As matters now stand, all the complaints against Mr. Sherman Emmanuel are without merit. There is no merit in the allegation against Dr. Ernest Hille, and thus no valid reason for investigation of the complaints. As matters now stand, all the complaints against the AG are without merit. The complaints against Mr. Claudius are without merit. All right, so this is judgment issued November 21st, 2024. Special prosecutor has thrown out Peter Chico's cases. Okay, so we want to say congratulations to Dr. Ernest Hille. Congratulations to all the innocent parties who have been found or proven or secured in their innocence. All right. So once again, let's shout out those of you in our chat. Good night to you, Mr. Delta. Always locked as usual. Good night. Good night. Coming from Gotta Be Big, Gotta Be Fancy. All right. In St. Vincent. All right. I'm hearing that Imani Hippolyte has also won top pastry chef in Miami last week. Oh, wonderful. She won gold in her category. Like I said, doing bigger and better things. All St. Lucians, big up St. Lucians, island wide. We are doing great things. Imani, wonderful, wonderful accolades. I wish you all the very best as you get higher and even more accolades as a pastry chef. Wonderful work. I wish I could be able to afford to hire you and taste your pastries. You must have been presenting some wonderful, amazing work to be winning these awards back to back. So congratulations once again to Imani Hippolyte. All right. Good night to you, Mr. Peter Montague. Good night to you. All right, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you for joining us on our Let's Connect program. Good night to you, Miss Camilla. Good night to Nigella Alexander. Good night, good night. Welcome, welcome on board. I'm not sure if that's the first time I'm seeing that name. Welcome to the program. Good night to you, Miss Philomena. Good night to all our people in Bhutan. Shout out to Bhutan once again. Good night, good night. All right, so tonight we did not have too many news stories. I wanted to, however, extend our congratulations as well from the Let's Connect family to the Prime Minister, who once again has secured 3 years in a row 100% confidence vote from the St. Lucia Labour Party. So we want to congratulate him once again on that success. 3 years in a row, 100% confidence. Wonderful. So we have a very short program tonight. We don't have, like I said, we don't have too many news items. It has been a very busy week amongst other things. We had St. Cecilia's Day on Friday the 22nd, and there was a bit of a concert and also the launching of the orchestra and the presentation of the instruments that have been obtained for the SRDF orchestra. So that has officially launched, and we do look forward to seeing more wonderful performances from the orchestra and its wonderful instruments as well. I'm a particular fan of the saxophone, so definitely I'm hoping that we get a wonderful saxophone player, hint hint, to lead the orchestra at some point. Let's see how that goes. All right, good night to you, Melanie Lubin. Good night, good night. Wonderful. Thanks for joining us on our Let's Connect program. If you're listening to us on our live, please send us a message so we can give you a shout out in our live chat. Okay, we want to give a shout out to Where Ladies Talk, who have an Embrace Her webinar, I should say, an Embrace Her webinar, which is being hosted every 5 Tuesdays. We want to give them a special shout out tonight. These ladies are always empowering other women, I'm very involved with female empowerment and helping our young ladies as well, and helping to develop them. They always offer wonderful seminars, self-help development workshops, and also business assistance for persons who are starting up. They do wonderful, wonderful things. Give a big shout out to Sanyu Joseph as well, who heads up the Where Ladies Talk business. I can call it a business, but it's sort of a movement as well. So big up to the Embrace Her webinar, which is taking place every 5 Tuesdays. So every fifth Tuesday, you can get an opportunity to join in with that. So give Where Ladies Talk a look out on Facebook and Instagram so you can see what it's all about, see if you can get involved, see if there's anything happening that you might be interested in, like the webinars every 5 Tuesdays. So big up Where Ladies Talk with the Embrace Her webinars. All right. Once again, special good night to those of you on our live. Good night to you, Miss Maslin. Good night, good night. We will appreciate you joining us in our Facebook live chat. We have one lighter side story that I would like to talk about just a little bit. However, I want to make sure we have somebody who can relate on the program, because this is more something along the lines of the younger people. I only happen to browse through it on Instagram, so I happen to catch a glimpse of it. But so on the lighter side tonight, we want to take a look at one of those stories from our international music scene. So apparently, hip hop star, for lack of a better term to call him, Drake has sued UGM over allegedly stating that they have been spurring on sales or streams of the song They Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. And they have put out a statement basically telling him that's not the case. So for those of you who follow the rap battles and the back and forth, who do you think won? The rap battle. Was it Drake or was it Kendrick Lamar? I don't know if I want to start that debate tonight there. If anybody is in the chat who wants to have that debate, although I'm admitting I am not too well versed in it. So don't slam me. Good night to Mr. Peter Montague once again. He says, congratulations to my Prime Minister, PJP, Philip J. Pierre. We have, yes, definitely with our Prime Minister all the way. All right, wonderful. And thank you, Mr. Peter, for encouraging persons to share the link. So, those of you who are live, you can, yes, share the link. Let persons know that we are on. So, if there is anything that they would like to talk about before we end, we're trying to get to at least 8:30 tonight. Like I said, since we don't have a in-house guest, we usually get through sooner if we don't have participation from our chat. Good night to you, Mrs. Joan Hippolyte. Yes, once again, sincere condolences to the Trubetskoy family for the loss of their patriarch Nick, who has been one of Sufre's greatest philanthropists. His legacy will live on. Thank you very much for that, Mrs. Joan Hippolyte. Definitely, his legacy will live on in the hotels and Chasney and Jade Mountain, and as well in his children. They will definitely carry on his legacy. Thank you so very much for your contribution. Once again, good night to all the various communities of Sufre, those of you locked on to our Let's Connect chat. We want to give a special shout out to the Forsajak Development Committee who has had their Kudme activity. We want to give them a big shout out. We also want to shout out the Zeno Development Organization. They are gearing up for wonderful things they've started, and they're gearing up for even more wonderful things happening in Zeno. We do have quite a few communities who are set to see some wonderful things happening all around, including some roads, and we have a lot happening in the hospital. So we have wonderful things coming up that we'll be able to talk about some more. We want to also send you greetings from our district rep, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, who is currently overseas attending to government business. But she sends her regards as always, and she has us in her thoughts and prayers. And we do expect that when she returns, she will be able to give us many, many updates. There are so many things in the works for Soufre, for Saint Jacques. So we do know that so many things are wonderful, but we also want to encourage you to keep abreast with the SRDF. They have a newsletter called Corporate Buzz that is out as of November 26th. And we want to also remind you that they have released the book Milestones, which is another way you can keep up with everything that's happening with the SRDF and in Sufre. And we want to encourage you because we do know that we're gearing up for the Jimmies. So soon and very soon, the Sufre Foundation, SRDF, 88.5 will be looking to hopefully sweep up many, 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 many awards at the Jimmies. So we want you to support them, keep abreast with everything happening on their Facebook page so that you can be in the know of everything that's happening. For example, did you know there is this segment that the Super Foundation shares every so often? So, have you ever heard of balneotherapy? I hope I pronounced that right. Balneotherapy, BALNEO therapy. So at the Sulphur Springs Park, which is located in the beautiful Sulphur community in St. Lucia, you can experience the therapeutic benefits of balneotherapy or balneotherapy firsthand. Have you tried it before? What was your experience like? So, balneotherapy, which is derived from the Latin word balneum, meaning bath, refers to therapeutic bathing in mineral rich waters, often found in natural springs. This practice has been used for centuries to promote health and well being, particularly in spa settings. Balneotherapy through facilities like Sulphur Springs Park provides therapeutic benefits, making it a valuable destination for wellness tourism. Now, that's definitely something I can definitely get into wellness tourism. Put me in a spa any day. All right. So, I want to say good night to Miss Inola Queen. Thank you for joining us on our Let's Connect program. We appreciate you. Mr. Cyril Saltibus, I wish you had come on sooner. I would have tried to get you to come on to the live for you to join me. I miss your wonderful smile. Mr. Cyril Saltibus is the newly appointed administrative manager of the Sufra Foundation. And he was on my program last week, Tuesday, and I already miss him. So I definitely wish him to come back as soon as possible. Let me know when you want to come back. Okay, Mr. Cyril, we need your smile on the program again. All right. So let's have a conversation about crime, Mr. Montague. I would love to engage your thoughts on what can we do to help curb crime. I'm a firm believer that we need a lot of development from in the womb to curb crime. I think it needs to start from womb. So more stuff like Lamar's classes and parenting classes, and you know, a lot of development from in the womb at the infant level, as the first 7 years of a child's life are very crucial. So what do you say to that? All right, Mr. Cyril said he'll come back anytime. All right, so we'll set something up, Mr. Cyril. Good night, Andy. Andy Donai, I think that's the name. Andy Donai, good night, good night. All right, bigging up Super Massive. Okay, awesome. I want to thank everybody who has joined me on our Let's Connect program. It's been wonderful having you guys. Like I said, it's going to be a short one tonight, unfortunately. If we had a lot more, like I say, when we have the rapport in the chat, I can keep it up for, as long as you're there with me, I'm there with you. So we've unfortunately come to all my topics down for tonight and all the announcements I've had for tonight. But I do want to thank everybody for joining me. Thank you for being here. Next week, hopefully, we'll have on Mr. Cyril Saltibus or another guest, but I will definitely get you back here next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. And hopefully we'll go up until 9 p.m. But until then, thank you so very much for joining us on Let's Connect. We appreciate you. Shout out to everybody in Soufrière. Shout out to the entire island of St. Lucia. Big up St. Vincent. Good night to Brooklyn and good night to Canada. We always have you guys locked on our programs. We appreciate you so very much. And next week, trust me, we're back with an awesome program. Tuesday, Let's Connect, 88.5 Super FM. All right. So see you there.